Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about taking a virtual field trip at Skype in the Classroom. So to get there, I usually just Google Skype in the Classroom and pick the first link, education.microsoft.com. And when you go there, they have this tab at the top, Skype in the Classroom. These are all the different interactive experiences you can do at Microsoft. Within this community, if you go scroll down from Skype in the Classroom to connect with experts, you can scroll up to virtual field trips and just note some of the other activities that you can do that we can talk about another time. But for this lesson, we're going to go up to virtual field trips. And the virtual field trips are pictured below, and I like to use the filters so that I can kind of narrow it down to the age group I'm working with. And you can also choose a content area, and then you could just browse their gallery. There are so many different field trips that they offer, and this would be right in the comfort of your own classroom. I'm just going to click on a couple just so you can see, well, what do they involve? So let's click on this shark one. All of the virtual field trips include learning objectives and an activity description so that you know what your kids will be doing in that field trip and what content is covered. And some of the other things just to note, they have the host that you can click on to get more information about the host, and perhaps you can see maybe other content that host has on Skype in the Classroom with Microsoft. Like this host there, she has 2 virtual field trips that she offers, and then you could read about Jillian, some of her accomplishments and things like that. So I'm just going to go back to that basic field trip and talk to you about, well, if this is a field trip that you would like to take, how do you do it? Right at the bottom, you'll notice some other important facts, and you'll see where you can just request this virtual field trip. Now, most of the hosts usually have a calendar within the Microsoft community that you can coordinate. This particular host, she organizes her calendar herself. So I like that they give you some bullet points. Right here in the message box, you can write what the ages of your students, the curriculum points that you want this host to cover, and anything else that's special that you want the host to know. And don't forget to include the date and times that work for you. And you would put that message right here and hit send. I'm going to hit cancel, but what happens is that host would get back to you via email, and you can organize a time to do this field trip. Now, this particular field trip is a 30 to 45-minute lesson structure, and I love that she has really given you such good information about that trip. I wanted to click on another one that I know organizes their calendar through the Microsoft community, so you could see, well, what does that look like? This penguin trip, I know that this host organizes their calendar through Microsoft. So let's take a look at what that looks like. See how different it is? Here you get to actually click on a date and choose a time that works for your class. And I'm just going to go out and say, oh, March 25th, 2019, they have a 10 o'clock. That works for me. And then down here, you still have the opportunity to write any important notes that you want the host to know. Age level of your kids, curricular content you want them to cover, and anything else that's special. You hit request a session, and that host will contact you shortly so that you can make arrangements for that particular field trip. The other important thing I want you to know is that you can come to education.microsoft.com and browse through the virtual field trip library, and you could look at any of the different virtual field trips. But in order to request the virtual field trip, you're going to need to create a free account because they're going to require you to belong to the community. When you create your free account, you can set up your profile so that everybody in the community knows, okay, I'm a 3rd grade teacher and this is where in the world I live. And just a quick bio of your class, and that way everybody knows each other within the community. Once you do request this virtual field trip, you're going to need a Skype ID. Now, a Skype ID is going to allow you during the virtual field trip to connect with that host. Either you will call them, they will call you, but that's something you could work out via email. All right, so that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me anytime and we could chat about these virtual field trips. I think you're going to love them, and I know that your kids will be very engaged and will love them too.